Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. So, Einstein even said to us that thoughts were things. He said that vibration came from energy came from brain waves and thought patterns. And remembering that the whole world is only made up of two things, energy and matter. And energy and matter can never be created nor destroyed. They only transition from one thing to the next. So when we think, we're creating a vibrational frequency that goes out into the world. It goes out into the ether. And it has an impact on everything around us and an impact on us. So we manifest what we have in our life through our thoughts. And collectively, as humans, we manifest what's going on the planet through our thoughts. So like during the Great Depression, when all anybody could focus on was poverty, then that manifested itself and the world became incredibly poor. But Einstein even indicated that those energy patterns created by thoughts created a physical result. And he said that that's not metaphysics, that is in fact physics. And so when we focus on a certain thing, the energy that we create from that focus creates that thing before us, or creates the opportunity for that thing, or creates a pattern that results in that thing. However it is that you want to look at it, there is a physical, in terms of science, and a metaphysical reality to all of this stuff that we talk about. And it even gets supported by science. So the reason that all of this matters at such a level is because if you're a negative person, then those vibrations are going to create negative results. And then that reality becomes self-fulfilling. So then you go, see, I told you that it was going to go wrong, and then it goes wrong and goes wrong, goes wrong, goes wrong. Now your standards might be that you're able to still maintain a level of outcome at a certain level and exist in life, but you're never able to fully have the freedom or the result that you're looking for. And if you don't even have those standards, then those negative vibrations are going to mean that your life is far less than not only what you want it to be, but than it could be. So this is why we talk about focus. This is why we talk about physiology. This is why we talk about all of these things at such a great deal, because understand that whatever you're putting out is what you're getting back. And that's not just a religious concept. That's all a concept. That's also a concept born out in physics, that whatever you put out is what you get back. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when we constantly put out vibrations of opportunity, then those patterns, those energy waves, manifest themselves into the opportunity that we're looking for in a physics-related idea. But when we constantly focus on what's not going to work, then that same thing is equally manifested. And we work as a collective, humans. So when there's a group of us, if we're constantly looking at what's going to work, then that's what's manifested. If we're constantly looking at what's not going to work, then that's what's manifested. That is why the 5 people you spend the most time with is who you become. Because you're all going to operate on the same frequency, in the same pattern, and in the same direction. So if you're doing that in a negative way, well, then you're going to go down. And if you're doing it in a positive way, then you're going to go up. Everybody knows when two humans work together, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 3 or more. Well, that's because as they sync up and start to work harmoniously, then those pattern waves accelerate themselves and become greater. People work better in teams. One of the reasons that we're going to have problems right now as humans in terms of overcoming things is because we're not in proximity. Now, we can still do it, we can transcend proximity, but it's harder and we're not used to it. Probably the next generation is going to be a lot more used to it. The millennials are going to have a much easier time cooperating in groups, working from a screen. Actors certainly have been doing it. Politicians have been doing it for a long time. They learned how to communicate through a screen a long time ago. But people working for a business, they're not as used to it. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So we're probably going to see that manifest in our reality for a little while. But we can transverse that, because you can certainly be connected to somebody that's all the way across the globe. And I think most of us have experienced that if you have a loved one somewhere far away, you can still be connected to that person. We've heard of motherly intuition, where all of a sudden they wake up in the middle of the night and they know something is wrong. Well, that's because they're connected to that person, even though they're far, far away. So, I want you to know that all of these concepts really kind of meld together. So when you look at even the religious concepts, but the physics concepts, and then all the stuff we talk about in personal development, in personal performance technologies, these things all really meld together and come from the same ideas. They might be languaged in different ways, but at the end of the day, it's the same real concept. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, why? Because whatever you put out is what you're going to give back. That's not just a religious idea. That's born in physics. And understand that these energies that you're putting out are happening all the time. You are constantly doing it. So it's a question of, do you want to manage that energy and have it be something that you're looking for and creating? Or do you want to let it be based upon whim, in which case you're going to be manipulated by social media and television, and they're trying to take you to their energy? That's why you've got to manage this little box that we're all talking into, because it wants to control where your head goes, and you can't let it do that. You can't let the world control what you're focusing on, hence why we start our day like this, so that we control what we're focusing on. So on this Saturday, and it's going to be beautiful here in Northern Illinois, it's been an amazingly gorgeous week. We've had a terrible year for lots of things, but we've had the greatest year for weather around here. I want you to think about that you are constantly putting out vibrations. You're constantly putting out energy. So you might as well direct it, and you might as well control it and manage it. Remember, create a plan for your own life, or you're going to end up being some part of somebody else's plan for theirs. Create a plan for your own life, or you become part of somebody else's plan. So manage this. Manage this. Manage the energy that you put out. Don't let somebody else do it for you. If you let somebody else do it for you, then you're part of their plan. Be part of your own plan. Have a great Saturday, everybody. Tracy, thank you very much for watching. Everybody have a great day. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.